Alright guys, let's get into it. Market's about to open. The light is so bright in my face, I'm about to sneeze. Looks like we have news in an hour, or in 30 minutes. So basically, I already marked out high time frame key levels to both the up and the downside. So in 2 minutes, we're gonna see, or in I guess 50 seconds here, we're gonna see it tank or go up. I'm bullish on the day. That's my bias. Because on the 4 hour, uh, this fair value gap, it got tapped into like a bajillion times. Even yesterday's low is pretty far down here, but we failed to close, and yet we made higher lows and potentially higher highs depending on how market open goes. So, and that's on both NASDAQ and ES. If you see me switching between these two, it's just because ES. Oh my gosh, sorry. I gotta say S&P 500 because ES is hard to say. So the S&P 500 is in the background, ES, and then NASDAQ and Q. So you can see which one I'm on. Okay, so we already took London lows, but we already pre-swept them. It looks like the S&P is gonna take this first level, so we're gonna get potentially an SMT. Okay. All right. So usually the first 5-10 minutes, like I honestly don't do much because candlesticks end up looking like just this, like a wick to the upside, a wick to the downside, and then you enter and you just are used as exit liquidity. Um, so in this video, I am gonna make a cut just because my streaming software is not letting me play my audio from my computer, and I'm new to this recording stuff, so we're gonna skip to where I answer and why I can. Basically, oh, excuse me, brother. Okay, that was so unsatisfying. Top step. Um, okay, well, I might just get in here. Okay, so basically the reason why I entered here, um, even though that entry was aggressive because Top Step didn't want to fill me, is because um, it's confirmed going down. I am willing to risk like a little bit. Um, I want to de-risk once it hits this key level here. I'm really upset about that entry, I'm not gonna lie. If we can take out this level, I'll go break even. Um, sorry, that was a little bit tilting. I entered there a little bit aggressively um, because we had an SMT on, we had a bearish SMT. So in market open, from this high on NASDAQ to this high, it was showing signs like, hey, we're going to come down and hit these key levels, while ES made this. And so I took a trade on the S&P because it was the lagging index, because NASDAQ wanted to show that, hey, we're going down actually before it can push up. But now that it's taken liquidity, I'm in a position where I'm not too happy with it just because of my entry being a little bit aggressive, but I am kind of confident we're going to hit this key level. We almost did, so I kind of want to wait till there to break even, but I also wouldn't be too surprised if we ended up retracing, going in a drawdown, and then continuing down. So, yeah. maybe I can go break even. Almost. It doesn't. It wants to hit it, but it also doesn't. So there's no way it doesn't, right? All right, there's something up with that level. Maybe I will just de-risk. I could just try to get a better entry if it takes me out, but I don't know. I don't know why it wouldn't take that level. Maybe this level is enough. This is, I think, London lows. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So now we're rolling. I want to trail, I feel like, a little bit because of the way it's. I was bullish on the day. I did not expect to sell. Okay. I want to see what. Actually, I'm just going to leave this up here. What is New York doing? Ah, yes. I wanted to hit that. Oh, I might just get out. Guys, am I a bad trader if I just get out? I feel like it wants to turn around, so I'm gonna get out and wait for a reversal because I was bullish on the day. So I kind of want to see if we can switch directions after taking these lows. It looks like Nasdaq didn't even want these lows. All right, guys. So it is now 10:47. Um, I just went. I just went and got coffee because this morning it was choppy. I watched it for a bit and I was like, dude, what's the point? However, I through the chop, we might finally get a breakout. Not entirely sure that I want to take a trade. Okay, so yeah, we shall see. Okay, let's try this. We're gonna risk about 10 points. A little bit early of an entry, but hey, gotta gotta risk it. Just looking for a scalp, nothing too crazy. I think with Nasdaq wanting to turn around,
think ES would want to, but let's see. If we can close above this here, I'm gonna go break even immediately to just de-risk. So drawdown is not looking too hot though. A little bit early of an entry, could have waited for a 5-minute respection. Well, now we wait and see if we get tapped out, or where would CP? A little 1-to-1. Well. Halfway to stop loss already. Stepping down. Wait, what? Oh, guys, that was normal ES. I thought it was on micro. Like Nasdaq wants to take those lows. ES just took that one. We're trying to figure out if after the S&P takes these key levels, are we going to push up, break structure, and finally maybe correct? Or is Nasdaq going to hit the key levels that S&P 500 did and, push further down? So I wanted to test this, and if we inverse it, I would sell. Okay, well, we tested it. Okay, we are testing again, respecting it again. Maybe we'll test this one more time. Come on, someone make a move. Need the S&P to break to the downside. I want to short the Nasdaq and inverse this fair value gap and then hit the key levels. I need the S&P to break that down to the downside. There we go. Test this again. Damn. Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. Looking good so far. Now I'm just gonna sit back and let it play out. Gonna go break even at that midline. Yep. Okay. Pretty happy so far. Okay. Well, not not bad. Not bad. Um, I knew that giant wick that happened on Nasdaq was a reaction because of S&P hitting this key level again, and I was just like, well, at least I assumed, right? And so I was like, okay, well, we're probably just gonna come back up to my entry, even though I want to go down here. I was like, not willing to be, uh, not willing to risk that. So let me explain why I just took that trade. The reason why I took that trade through the consolidation is a chop. It's like really hard to read. It's like lower high, higher low, lower high, lower low, higher high. You know what I mean? It's like very not picking a direction. So the S&P 500 took out these two lows that Nasdaq has not taken out just yet. So I'm thinking, well, if Nasdaq doesn't take the lows and ES did, then the S&P 500 is probably going to start going up now, and same with the Nasdaq. But then it on the S&P 500 and on the Nasdaq, we have a bearish fair value gap right here that after making a lower low right here and right here, I was like, okay, so gonna continue, oh, we're gonna continue to the downside. So I'm over here on Nasdaq and I draw my tool after the new low was formed. We draw our tool and that fair value gap happens to be just where the 50% line is on both of them. So 50% right here. And they wick in, and for a sec I thought we were going to disrespect this and start heading up because that's what I wanted to have happen on the S&P 500, which it might start to do soon. So we wick in and then we push down. And so I was like, oh, okay, so we're probably going to continue down. So then I scaled into the 1 minute on the NASDAQ, and we have a bullish fair value gap right here. And we actually pushed into it like one, two, three, like three times. And then I was like, okay, well, it's clearly trying to push up so it can inverse this, but after it pushed out, it did not inverse it clearly. It wicked down. Then it broke structure here, made a lower low, and that's when I entered on this candlestick here. And then take profit, wanted to be at this line, but after this crazy wick, I just got out right here for about $500. And now it looks like we are maybe going to reverse. Okay, we got huge potential right here. We can close above this line, inverse this fair value gap after making a higher low, after sweeping high time frame key levels. We could probably target this green line here and be chilling. Okay. I've been really working on being patient as it goes up because it's got to do its thing to push up. But I get these entries and then I get scared. See what I mean? I get scared and then it goes and ends up probably hitting my thing. But it's really difficult for me to commit to a trade when it's that entry up here after Nasdaq is taking this liquidity and pushing down. I don't know. My my confidence isn't too strong when it comes to uh, B tier entries. I just have to learn to let it do its thing. But that's okay. I'm not upset at that at all. That's honestly gonna do it. I am gonna log out now. So, peace out, guys.